I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Oops, the podcast. Gallerati and Lynch. We're here. This is Lynch's final day as a single man, according to official documents.
Unless something crazy happens.
Something crazy happened. And I should say last day on the pod, at least.
Yeah.
Last pod episode before married Lynch.
Until I'm supposed to be married.
Until Lynch is supposed to be married.
I don't want... Yeah, let's just...
Knock on wood. It's even wood.
Let's hope that happens.
Knock, knock. Who's there? It's Lynch.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is that that horrible scenario of Victoria not arriving on the wedding day on Saturday is that we will officially be married on Thursday this week, in 2 days from now.
Wow.
So all of Saturday is nothing more than a facade.
Fuck, dude. Well, good. It's a ceremonial thing, but the damage will have already been done.
The damage will be done. The deed will have been signed,
Will have been
sealed,
been done.
delivered. Today is the last day that I'm home before heading up for the wedding. And so that obviously means that all of the errands that I've had a month to complete are actually going to be mapped out. As soon as I'm done recording today, I'm going to be spending many hours in many stores picking up things all across New York City so that I will have checked off everything on my list of things to do and contributing towards having the perfect day.
It's a risky move because, first of all, as you already know, sorry to pile on here, but it's one of those things where when you leave it till the last day, if you do in fact have this list, God forbid anything were to go wrong, you physically might not have enough time to complete it all.
That's correct.
Which is challenging, not to mention any sort of hiccups where for some reason one of the places is closed.
Yeah.
You are fucked.
Oh, yeah.
But at least you're getting married in America, so potentially you could do some of these on the fly if you absolutely had to.
If I had to,
What kind of stuff's on there?
Important stuff, like big stuff.
Anything that you can share?
Yeah, we're picking up. I'm picking up a jacket for the rehearsal dinner. So that's a personal thing, not as big a deal. But that's
what do you mean? Why is that personal not a big deal?
Because that just affects me. That doesn't affect the overall outcome.
You need it.
I do need it. So I need that. So I'm going to grab that. Then I'm going to be picking up a couple of prints for the sign that's going to have the seating chart at the wedding. That's imperative. There needs to be that sign, as well as the cocktail menu, the custom Ryan's drink, Victoria's drink.
And these are from the same place?
Cocktail menu, printing item, picking those up from the same location. Then I'm going to another printing place, which I just saw the email before we pressed record that it is confirmed and ready to be picked up.
Great.
It's a specialty printing store for these little newspapers that I designed.
Extra, read all about it. Ryan and Victoria.
What the wedding news?
I love it.
With
Very
custom
cute.
crossword puzzle.
Very cute.
Day of scheduling.
One across,
little short
Victoria.
story. All that stuff. Got to go pick that up. And then I need to go to the my jeweler who has a dirty little mouth and pick up a ring that he took 2 weeks to tell me he can't fix.
Hate to say it. And this is one of the rings?
No, this is an accessory ring that is very sentimental to Victoria. She was devastated when I told her that there's nothing he could do.
Got it.
So those are some of the errands that I'm running today.
You got it.
Amongst, if it weren't for you and Hill Dog being so creative and personal and going above and beyond for your wedding to write personal cards for every single person, which was the nicest touch at a wedding that I've seen thus far, we wouldn't be doing that. But we are doing that too because we were inspired by your niceness.
Lynch.
We were inspired by GIULIO and Hill Dog's niceness.
Well, dude, very exciting. And this is one shitty thing about New York City where it's like, a day of those errands becomes much more difficult because in a normal situation, you can just drive to all these different places, but like you have your jacket. So like in theory, you can't bring the jacket to get the printing stuff. So you have to like do one at a time and, a lot of out and back, a lot of training, a lot of,
it's going to suck.
It's going to suck.
But you know what? I wouldn't do it any other way.
Hey,
I don't know how to do it any other way.
This is how we do it.
Last minute dude.
Very exciting. But dude, you're busy. You're doing shit. It's all right. It happens. I've become worse at this, which is a good indication actually, because I used to procrastinate with errands.
Uh-huh.
if I didn't want to work. And like now, you know, as you guys know, editing schedule, planning this Patreon rollout, all this stuff will be out before June. But before I would just try to do anything besides edit. So I'd be like, oh, I need to like go to fucking wherever or do that. Like every errand was done. But now I'm not as good. I haven't been as good at it. So that's probably ultimately a good thing. But I feel where you're coming from because I have a long list of shit that I need to do also.
Yeah.
That I just haven't done. So what are you going to do?
But you'll do it when you do it.
Guys, come check us out June 12th. Two married men performing at Laugh Boston. I think it should be a great show. Very much excited for it. Danny Palmer will be in the mix too. We're going to try to get him on the pod before that. I've also added New York City, August 21st. I polled, did people prefer the 7 p.m. or the 9 p.m.? And it was 51% to 49%. So I'm doing both.
Wow.
And this is even taking into account, it was so close that I looked at the list and saw who were comics. Or like if they're friends of mine who don't even live in New York and aren't going to be here, I like took them out of it and it was still like right around 50-50. So 7 and 9, those will both be great. Those are going to be at the Stand. And then Houston, St. Pete, Zany's Nashville. Zany's Nashville is in June 20th, 21st. So come to that. And before that, I'm actually taking Big G on a little adventure.
Where are you taking him?
So this is what we're doing. And I'd be happy to hear any insight from people. I've already gotten some helpful insight from Shravan. I hope I'm saying your name right. A guy who lives in Nashville who is familiar with the area, and a couple other people as well. But basically, I am going to take Big G to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. There's a couple other national park things that we're going to do along the way. I'm realizing now that I fucked up by flying into Nashville, but I had already like booked non-refundable things around it, so it just adds like an hour and a half to the drive, which is fine. And we're going to go for a couple days. He will then be hanging out at the show in Nashville the first night. So if you're there on Friday, you might catch a glimpse of Big G. And I'm excited to run it back, the like Costa Rica situation where we had some really funny moments. So I hope to be able to have some gold for you guys if you're following along on my Instagram.
Has Big G been there?
He's not. I don't know that he's even been to Tennessee. So this will all be really fun for him and for me as well. So I've been arranging the whole thing for us, so it should be fucking great, dude.
That sounds lovely.
Pumped for it.
That sounds lovely.
Pumped for it. Are you even in the place where you're thinking about your honeymoon at all?
No. I'm not going to think about it until we're getting our vaccines, which will be at least a couple of weeks from now.
That's the beauty of having people like arrange it for you, even though it ends up kind of making it more expensive. I know you have some friends helping and stuff, but still, like, it's done. You don't have to think about it. You need to be like, oh, do we need to actually book the car from... You don't have to think about any of that. Do we need to, like that?
None of that.
You don't need to do any of that shit. You just get to show up and it'll all be paid for and you're going to have the trip of a lifetime.
It's all paid for.
Very
it's all
exciting.
done.
Very exciting.
All done. The bleeding is drying up.
Yes. And it is also confirmed, bro. I'm going to be like living in a village. So it's going to be completely
Well, we're
different.
visiting a village one day.
Maybe it'll be my village. I pop out. I'm the one.
Giulio? Hey, Vic.
I just pretend I'm not Giulio. I'm like, I just have a full doppelganger on the other side of the world. That's funny.
And Victoria's like, you look a lot like Giulio. I'm like, Victoria, that's not nice.
Dude, we should prank Victoria and I just pull up and we both act like I'm not Giulio. You're like, no.
I mean, it'd be a funny prank if we like did like all the ads that we have available to us to record, like funny prank. Like, babe, Julie and I are going to go record some ads right now.
yeah.
But it's like a joke. We'll do it as like a joke. We'll disappear for 4 hours as a joke.
What the fuck?
So.
Can Giulio crash on the couch? Dude, I'm just your driver on the safari. Hey, guys.
That's so nice.
Well, bro, that's going to be fucking great.
Yeah, no, not thinking about that right now. Just focused on my errands.
Okay, I have a dilemma for you. Tell me what you think about this. So I'm going to Chicago for one night. And typically I have like a little hookup situation where I can get a discount at specific hotels. And I usually am able to use that in a way that's super helpful, basically anywhere that I go. And it for the most part, has kind of never failed. It never let me down. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be in Chicago. Obviously, my in-laws live there, but they're kind of like far enough out of the city where it's like, okay, maybe that'll just be like, and also I know that I can just like theoretically come and go now, because they're so generous and hospitable, but now I'm like literally part of the family. I can theoretically go stay with them, but I sort of don't want to. I don't want to like, I'm trying to burn the burden oil as lightly as possible for my entire life with them, so that our time spent together will never feel like I'm just hanging around. You know what I mean? God forbid. And I'm sure it will never hopefully get there, but I have that in mind to some degree, even though I love hanging out with them. And yeah, like I said, probably 45 minutes away from where I'm going to need to be. So like, and then I can Uber, but it's expensive. I can take the train. I don't really feel like it. You know what I mean? I don't want to rent a car. So I'm like, okay, maybe I won't do that. A friend has offered to let me stay with him. And I'm always just a little, he's like not like he's not like one of my best friends. Like we're definitely good friends, and he's like a friendly, likable guy. And he's like, you can stay, I have an extra bedroom. Like you can fully just stay with me. And I'm like, man, and I'm going to be with him during the day. And I'm also doing his show. And I'm kind of like, I don't know that I want to do that. You know what I mean?
Not quite. I'm going to need a little more ammo as to why this is something that is uncomfortable for you.
I just feel like a guest in that situation. I know it's just one night. But it just feels, I don't know. I just like get uncomfortable about the idea of anything uncomfortable happening. So I'm like, I just want to limit that scenario as much as I can. I wake up, I'm like waking up, I'm waking up in front of him for the first time. Hey dude, morning. I don't know.
Well, you got your own bedroom.
I believe so.
Do you know if there's a bathroom attached to the bedroom?
I don't.
Because
The
I feel like something
Chicago?
that you would be nervous about is a late night bathroom hallway bumping.
Don't love the idea of it.
Don't love that.
Don't love any of it.
Then don't take it.
But the hotels, even with my little situation, are not particularly affordable at the moment unless I stay kind of far away, which at that point I might as well just stay with my in-laws. So I'm hoping that what will happen is like sometimes things will pop up on it. I'm literally going to check right now. And it'll be like, oh, wow, like if yesterday there'll be none, but today there'll be some. I'm hoping that just happens somehow, but it's not looking good, Lynch. I don't know what the fuck is happening in Chicago this week. I can't figure it out. I've been looking and like there's no explanation as to why Chicago is the most popular city in the world this week.
People are checking out where the Pope's from.
Maybe. It's the middle of the week. I don't get it. That there's not a single deal. So I don't know, dude. I don't know what to do.
It's one night. You don't want to do that. You don't want to go spend the night with that person. I know, knowing
It's just not ideal.
it's not ideal. You don't like not ideal situations.
I prefer an ideal situation.
Maybe your best bet is just to not sleep anywhere. Just roam around with your roller suitcase. The McDonald's in Chicago is really big. You just prop up there.
And everybody involved would think that I'm being really weird right now.
I know. I have similar situations with family and stuff like that where in my mind I'm like, this is normal for me to like not want to do this, but then in their eyes they're like, you're being weird. So I get that.
And for real, it's me, not you.
Yeah.
It's me.
No, it is. Yeah.
Like I just don't want to be all up in your shit.
Yeah.
And I think this maybe stems from, for like 5 years, I was a freeloader in New York City. I lived with people whom I used to teach tennis to at some point. The tennis teaching had been long gone. I was friends with them and they offered to let me live at their house basically. And they had plenty of room and I accepted, but I always wanted to be as scarce as possible because the one thing that felt like a potential challenge to my longevity was just always being there. You're tired after a long day. There I am. Hey, so I would sneak around, but like not just because I didn't want to always be up in their shit. So like there's times a day where I would avoid the kitchen. I would avoid this. I would avoid that. And maybe it's a thing that has just like been baked into me wrongly where now like I'm afraid to stay at people's houses because I think I'm going to be all up in their shit. Friend's apartment is conveniently located for sure. As far as I'm going to be in Barstool on Wednesday and Thursday doing, promoting our shows in Boston, which please come to. And I'm also doing a show while I'm there. So anyway, convenient to get to the office, which is nice.
You got to do it.
But dude, I just envision, all right, dude. Yeah. Here's your bed. Like here's a towel for you, a fresh towel. Like, don't be a guy. Like everything's, go in the fridge as you please.
Don't do that.
I just feel like all of it just makes me feel uncomfortable. Like I just feel bad accepting it.
In your mind, what is the worst thing that could happen? Like, what is the biggest thing that's like, when you start considering taking on the offer, what's the thing that's making you go, nope, 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 nope?
Okay, I think I've met his girlfriend one time, and I don't, like, we've maybe chilled. I don't know that we've ever chilled solo outside of work, ever.
You and friend, or you
Me
and
and
friend's
friend.
girlfriend?
I've met friend's girlfriend once, I believe. I've seen friend with other friends, and like at comedy, at like some other stuff, but never like one-on-one time really, except for like in a non-one-on-one setting, if that makes sense. Like we're in a setting where there's a bunch of people and we have some one-on-one time. This guy's a great guy. He really is. And I don't know, I'm afraid that maybe I'm there and one of them's having a bad day, but I'm there. There's nothing we can do about it. And they're trying to like overcome it because they know they have a guest, and now that's hard on them. They're having a bad day, and I'm there. I am. I just waved for the people who get mad that they can't see what I'm doing when someone laughs on the show. But dude, like there I am. And now what? Or maybe I fuck something up and break something, or I don't know, or like I leave and I forget to strip the bed, or so what, should I strip the bed? And they're like, yeah, strip the bed. I just don't know, dude. I just don't. It just sounds difficult.
Okay.
It sounds stressful.
All right, well then let me ask you this, because then I can put some more personal perspective into this. The podcast. At the old apartment, at your old apartment, at this apartment, even when we were at Francis's old apartment before he went to Barstool, I spent a lot of time in your home. We record sometimes outside, like some of our recording times are different than it's not the same time every single week. It's not consistent. Sometimes due to external circumstances, we need to record late. And I don't know if Hill Dog has had a bad day, but I've been in your apartment when she's gotten home from work a couple of times, or I've been in your apartment where she's had the day off, or maybe she was sick. And now I'm in your home in her personal space. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you step out, and there's been a couple of times where it's just been the two of us. And so I feel bad and I feel guilty about me being in her home when her home is supposed to be her home.
Right.
Yet I still just do what I got to do, and I get out of there when I can. But I come to hope that there was a conversation or a communication between the two of you that I was going to be there. And so I will be as out of sight, out of mind, but I will do what I need to do, and I'll get out of there when I need to. And I think that those expectations are going to be set between him and his girlfriend before you come and spend just one night once.
Totally.
Ever.
Totally. It's as potentially like low stakes of this kind of situation that could possibly exist. Now, this is the one difference. When you're here, you don't have to be here, but assuming that you want to participate in the pod, which you do for now, then that's just, the pod is the buffer. I don't have the buffer here.
You're visiting for a show. Or are you doing a show in Chicago?
I'm doing his show.
Yeah. Okay. So you're visiting for a show.
True, but it's still like we do the pod here because it's where we do the pod. You didn't personally choose to come here and do the pod when Hill Dog is whatever. Seems like she had a long day or something. God forbid. Not saying that that's what happened, but like you worry about that scenario. Like, oh no, she had this long day. Here I am. I'm here. Hello. Waving.
Exactly.
So to me, that's not as bad because any sort of possible negative scenario that could arise from that, for the most part, assuming you continue to be who you are, will all fall upon me. So you don't even have to worry. And I get that with his girlfriend, that could be true, where all the burden falls upon him and not me. But I don't have the buffer between me and him of obligation.
In terms of like set time being there.
Right now, my only option is a hotel that has airport in the title. It's an okay hotel. It's completely nice. It's if I probably will try to avoid telling people that I'm staying at it because it's just like kind of a bad look to be staying at the airport hotel. There's a lot of hotels in Chicago, but they're all pretty expensive. For whatever reason, dude, like the Zachary Hotel, I've never heard of this in my life. $1,900 a night. The Ritz-Carlton, 1,500. Well, obviously the Ritz-Carlton's going to be expensive. But, bro, yeah, it's like not looking good. So I guess we'll see.
I think a couple things that you can do is to spend minimal amount of time in the apartment. Now, if you were to stay there, what time are you getting to the apartment?
So it's an interesting question. So I get in and I have to be on a show at noon. Okay, I'm doing the yak. So I'll be there doing the yak. I then will begin working on my Nepal edit at the office. So I will likely stay at the office until I have to go to the show. Now, if I end up, what will probably happen is I'll bring a small enough bag, hopefully, that it's not crazy for me to have to bring it to the show and put it in the green room. I would like to go home, quote, home first before I went to the show in a perfect world. That perfect world may not exist. But if I were to stay with him and agree to do that, what would probably happen is I would leave the office, go to his apartment for a sec, drop my stuff, maybe change, go to the show, come back, stay at his, come back to the office the next day, and then stay at the office until I have to go to the airport. Mm-hmm. Again, minimal time at the house.
Yeah.
But
I think that's the move. Also, that Barstool office is pretty big. Maybe they have a shower.
They probably do.
They probably do. They got all the gyms and stuff. They probably got a shower you could use.
But the problem with that is like everything is on camera there. And like if you do anything out of the ordinary, you just get slammed. So like if I'm just like, there's a risk of me taking a shower at the office turning into like a joke for a while. To the point where like anytime I post anything, someone's commenting about the shower incident.
I know. I just, if you just have discretion, I even just mention it. Like it doesn't need to be a big deal, but now that we're talking about the shower at the Barstool office, it makes, you just gotta ask someone at the front desk or just like, I know, that's content.
So yeah, TBD.
I think you should just go to the apartment. Comment below what you guys think he's doing. I understand the feelings that you're feeling to a degree. I have buffer, you don't. But I think the fact that there's a show is a buffer.
Yeah.
And you didn't ask if you could stay there. He offered.
Very true.
And it's a bedroom.
He also followed up yesterday and I said no. So it would actually potentially be weird for me to be like, you know what?
Well, that was, yeah.
Sorry. I left out a couple important things. That's one of them.
Oh, it's over.
He followed up. Yeah.
You're sleeping at McDonald's.
It might pop back open where he's like, again, is like, are you sure? But then I kind of look like a bitch if I accept.
Actually.
Yeah, if you don't mind, are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so the hotel, this airport hotel, currently is $65, which is not bad. Still better. It's more than zero. If I wanted to stay somewhere closer to the office, it would probably be $200. If I like got really clever with it, booking.com, like shit I don't want to do, but like whatever, I would do it. And like it says it's 100, but then ends up being 200 and blah, blah, blah. So I personally, and I know I'm wrong, and I'm sorry everybody who thinks this is crazy, airport hotel still sounding like the best option because I can take the train to it.
Okay. Well then, yeah, just go with that. This it's not worth the $65. Not worth that.
There is a chance that at some point tomorrow, a better rate will pop up.
And what kind of rate would get you
jazzed
licking
up?
your lips?
$100, which again I get a discount. So like a place that's normally say $250 down to $100 is like the home run scenario.
Okay.
And sometimes with this rate situation, a good place will be down in the 60s. At which point that would be the best scenario. Somewhere pretty solid for like $65, which again is only possible because of this little secret.
Then go with the hotel. I'm gonna throw up. This is
tough.
This is you're making me anxious. Just whatever it is, just go with the hotel. That's if you can get it for $100 or less, go with that. I feel like that's what you want to do, and you don't worry about it. Just do that. Just do that.
Right. Anyway.
I get it, dude. I get it. I hate being weird. I hate feeling weird and being like, I'm the weird one here.
Yeah.
And then like, that should be enough to justify being weird. But saying that puts even more of a hole of being weird to the person that thinks that you're being weird and don't need to be.
Correct. Guys, right now, bottom lip, Nice little apple ice Lucy pouch.
It's gotta be Lucy pouch.
Rocking and rolling. Love it. Anytime I need to sit down and focus, it's great. One thing I also like about the case, which is like potentially slightly underrated, there's this like area on the top where you can throw the ones you're done with out if you don't have a place to throw them out. So you don't have to litter, which is nice. Apple ice is great. Also love the espresso, the mango, the mint, bunch of good flavors. I also like the breakers, which are a lot of fun. The mango, they have like a little flavor ball that you can kind of bite into with your teeth, burst, a little extra flavor. Very solid. But yeah, this is my go-to for when I have to sit down and focus for a long time. By far my favorite pouch, kind of the cleanest experience. And yeah, it's all good, man. So if you're looking to up the pouch game, Lucy's where it's at.
So let's level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/oops and use promo code OOPS to get 20% off your first order. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Again, that's lucy.co and use code OOPS to get 20% off. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Let's change gears then so that we don't make you throw up in your mouth.
You're going to throw up.
I might throw up.
You can throw up in my mouth.
Hot take. I think that the Bruno Mars being a big gambler thing is not true.
With that, I don't want to look anything up. It's just based off vibe.
Supposedly Bruno Mars is this huge gambler. And I've heard about it for years. And there's supposedly this theory that like the reason why he had some crazy residency in Vegas was to pay off gambling debt to one of the casinos where he like lost millions of dollars gambling. I don't see a world where that's real.
Yeah. I like this hypothesis or theory.
Either I think work.
I like this theory. I agree.
Bro.
He's a little guy. He's a little guy, and he has such a great voice. He doesn't need to gamble. He loves singing.
It just doesn't.
Do you need that?
Are there like celebrities like that who have these like crazy gambling addictions? I know Michael Jordan, but like athletes, it tracks a bit more. They're like competitive, like whatever. And I know people gamble, but like, can we look this up? Are there any celebrities with famous gambling addictions that are confirmed that are surprising? Like if you told me Barbara Streisand had like a gambling addiction, I'd be shocked.
Okay, so some of these people we can get the specifics, mostly not, but Ben Affleck.
That feels like it tracks.
What, just him?
It's just, that's not crazy. That I'm not shocked by that.
It was once reported that he won $800,000 in a night.
So that doesn't mean he has a problem necessarily, but he's a big gambler.
But he's gambling at high levels.
Cool.
Charlie Sheen.
Totally tracks again.
His ex-wife, Denise Richards, says that he gambled $20,000 per week, totaling to millions of dollars over the years. Michael Jordan, golf betting, poker, casino gambling. In 1993, he wrote out a check for $57,000 to cover golf bets. Tobey Maguire, underground poker.
Interesting.
Allegedly won $10 million, but was sued for illicit winnings tied to a Ponzi scheme.
Oh, damn.
Toby.
So, okay, again, that doesn't sound like the level of Bruno, potentially.
No,
like
Bruno sounded like hundreds of millions of dollars.
He might just be like a big poker player. Toby, I'm still not like, and maybe, he won a game where like it was an underground game, and like, I'm not feeling like Toby is in the same category currently.
I just typed in, what's the Bruno Mars gambling addiction situation?
What others? And we got to get back to the celebrity list after.
Okay, the list. We'll do that after. So Tiger Woods is number 5 on the list.
Athlete.
Then Charles Barkley.
Athlete.
And Dana White.
Makes sense.
Allen Iverson.
Athlete.
Floyd Mayweather.
Athlete.
Pamela Anderson.
That's surprising. That's surprising.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Okay. So yeah, Bruno Mars doesn't owe $50 million in gambling debt. MGM Casino says.
That's it.
That's it. It's not true.
But we don't know if, according to this legend, if he paid it off by performing.
No,
I don't think it's true.
That's not worthy of a documentary investigation. Like, no, I agree. It's not true. And what a nasty little gnarly rumor.
100%. That could be a good clip, by the way. Denying the Bruno Mars gambling.
It's not real.
I don't think I'm calling bullshit on that.
Not him. He's too cute.
He's too cute.
He's too cute.
He's too
What
cute.
got you thinking about that recently?
I've been
seeing
hearing
it?
about it forever, and then I saw a clip of someone like confirming it, but it was just like some random dude. Like,
Did that one friend that has no credibility send it to you during the middle of an afternoon day in the middle of the week?
Potentially. It actually may have just popped up on my thing, but someone also may have sent it, but I think I just randomly came across it.
Yeah. Bruno Mars would be top of my list to see live in an intimate
I bet he'd be great.
environment.
They say he puts on a crazy show.
Yeah, I'd love to see him. I've been I couldn't go to bed one night, and because I was stuck on my phone watching videos of people reacting to "Die with a Smile."
What's that?
The song he did with Lady Gaga.
I don't know it.
If the world was ending, I want to be next to you.
Is it new?
It won track of the year or record of the year last
This
year.
Okay, I don't know.
I want to hold you just for a while and die with a smile.
Yeah, I don't know.
No? Well,
I
I'm just
check it out.
watching people react like, whoa, whoa.
They love it.
They love it. I love them loving it. And so I just continue to love Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
else?
What a cutie pie.
Cutie pie.
He's a little cutie pie. He's innocent. He didn't do it.
I saw Anderson .Paak, who I know those two like do stuff together.
Silk Sonic.
I saw him DJ.
When?
I was at this like event and he was DJing and I was like, is that Anderson .Paak? And I didn't realize that he like him DJing is the thing. At the time I was like, it is. That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
What a sick fucking little gig. Anyway.
That's cool.
That. All right. Well, Lynch, I have a question for you based on wedding stuff. So you have your wedding. Thursday's the legal ceremony. Friday, the Armenian ceremony. Saturday, is Thursday Armenian?
Thursday's the Armenian ceremony.
Okay. And then you have all the stuff. Wedding Saturday. And then what are you doing Sunday?
Going home.
Back to New
I
York?
think just going home. Yeah. If the Celtics force a game 6 or 7, if they force a game 7, I think we'll probably stick around in Massachusetts for
try to
for
go?
that game. No, just hang out with fam.
Nice. Which they could theoretically do.
Eh.
You don't think so?
I mean, I think it's not even about the playoffs anymore. It's about Tatum and if he's gonna play next year or not.
When this comes out, a lot of this stuff will have been resolved already. But we're recording this the day after the Knicks won Game 4 at home, and yeah, it was crazy because Tatum fell 10 minutes earlier, and it was like, he's fine. Okay,
It was his wrist.
he was down for a sec, and then it happened.
It's the non-contact falls that are the worst.
Hate to see it.
So
anyway,
so
hopefully he'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll be back to my wedding. Nothing about Jason Tatum. We'll be wrapping up Sunday, heading back out. We're having a little like coffee and small bites in the morning, and then we'll probably be home before sundown.
Did part of you consider whether or not to take the honeymoon directly after? Was that ever discussed?
No, Vic started a new job, and there's a lot of onboarding going on, and so it's totally fine for her to like. From here on out, she's pretty much taking the week off.
Totally, good for her.
And that's totally fine. But she wants to be at work, and so July was a good time for us. We also have some weddings soon after, so we wanted to be around for that. And then the 4th of July has always been a dead time for us, where our families have their own things going on, and so it made sense.
Oh, so that's when you guys are going. Hey, we haven't even talked about the specifics. Of
yeah,
when
the
you're
4th to the 17th.
Oh, cool. We're not even going to overlap.
I thought we were.
No, we're not.
You said we might.
We might. At the time.
But now we won't.
Now we will not.
All right.
So you'll have trudged into uncharted territory.
But yeah.
Because we talked about that, because I remember initially Hill Dog was sort of like, liked the idea of doing it right after. We also did not do it right after. And it worked out nicely for us. And it was nice to do it during a slow time as well, with you guys are sort of planning it. So yeah, but it's interesting because there's different schools of thought on it. I was curious if you even thought about it, because we definitely talked about it.
Yeah, I think we were on the same page right away. We brought it up and we both were like, yeah, let's do it in July. July is that's a good time for her and I to plan personal trips. You like that time?
It's a good time.
It's a great time.
It's the hot time, honestly. And, in New York, I don't know if this was always the thing, but there's this sort of like, if you're sort of doing the Keeping Up with the Joneses starter pack in New York City.
What is that in reference to?
Keeping Up with the Joneses means that you feel pressure to do the things that the people in your group, your broader group, are doing. And I would say it more affects sort of the upper echelons of society, quote unquote, which in this odd way creates this interesting feeling of like not having enough because you're always pushing yourself to do more to keep up with the Joneses.
Okay.
The Joneses are a fictional couple, say.
Got it.
Or group of people. So, you know, and I'm not part of this. And there maybe have been times in my life where I have been, but currently definitely I'm not affected by it at all and think it's stupid. Especially because here's these groups of people that all have so much and yet they feel as if they don't. And it's just silly. Like it's very clearly bubble behavior. But this
Bubble behavior.
part of the starter pack is a summer Europe trip. To say Italy's been a popular one, or the south of France. And you go kind of during the most expensive time of the year because these places all know. And obviously the weather's great and it's a nice time to go. But so that is the summer trip is part of it. And you know, we don't really fucking do it. But I mean, we go on plenty of trips, have a great time. That's one of the things. The other one is the between Christmas and New Year's into New Year's trip. A lot of times to St. Bart's.
St. Bart's.
Popular New York City spot to go. It is and for good reason, it's a Caribbean island, but it's very European feeling, more so than many other of the islands that feel kind of more Caribbean. This is like very French. There's a scene, hot restaurants, nightclubs. Like it's cool. And it's a really pretty island too. But like elite. So like that's the time you go there. And then I think also participating in some sort of Hamptons situation.
Yeah.
Which just really creates this shitty keep up with the Joneses thing because that part of it in particular is the hardest one to conquer. Because if you want a solid Hamptons house, you're in the millions of dollars. Like there's this term south of the highway, which is not a term. It literally just describes the proximity of where you are. If you guys don't know about the Hamptons, there's like basically one main road because it gets really narrow at the end of Long Island. And if you're south of the highway, you have ocean, you're closer to the ocean. So these houses tend to be immediately in the 10 million range, which is crazy, obviously. So there's this world where you can rent your own house for July and great, whatever. But like if you're like renting it with other people, that's not as good as owning one. And owning one near the bay isn't as good as owning one near the ocean. So if there's one guy in the group who has one near the ocean, the whole group feels bad about themselves and feel like they don't have enough, which is crazy. I've seen it. And it sucks and it's stupid.
Yeah.
And all you guys who are doing this, take a step back and look at your shit and realize you have so much and you don't need more.
Yeah. I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses, but going to Montauk has like for a weekend, just a weekend. It's just a little slice of life. I just want to experience. I want to do that once. So I don't want to keep up, but I do want to
it's amazing
to drop by the Joneses for a weekend.
You shouldn't feel bad about wanting to go there in the summer. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I think I made my connection this year.
Fuck yeah.
I think I got my loose, soft. Yeah, you gotta go. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go. Huh. I was like, that's like ocean talk. That's not bay talk. That's ocean talk. Right. Oh, you bring your wife.
Hell yeah.
I'm just like, oh.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So I do want to drop by the Joneses. I don't, but I understand that. It sounds, especially as the years go by, like gotta go on your trip, gotta go on your winter trip, gotta go to Montauk, gotta go on your trip, gotta get. It's like that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward goes to Squidwardville and everything's la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da until it gets redundant and then depressing.
This is one of the downfalls of capitalism. You know, say what you want about capitalism. There's a lot of great things about it, right? But there's always a scenario that will make you feel like you don't have enough in a capitalist society. So this is a perfect example of it. So you're doing well. Oh, wow, things are going well. You're hanging with this cool group. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Everybody does stuff like this. Wow, wow, wow. Just be careful that you don't end up in this kind of situation where suddenly you feel bad about yourself, even though you're in the 0.1% of the world, and you now feel bad because you have a house that you don't think is as nice as your friend's house. And dude, yeah, look, like the Hampton summer, fucking unbelievably clutch. Like people
Unbelievably clutch. Oh, Julia.
And then dude, like, okay, for example, people who I was saying before, I tried to be scarce for, I am close enough with them. We're going and staying at their house out there, which is sick, is I don't feel bad about doing it. I feel comfortable. I've been there. I lived there during the pandemic. Like they've taken care of me. It's great. I feel completely fine being up there and I don't feel burdensome. And I will 100% take advantage of that and have the best time. But I don't feel bad that I don't have my own and whatever. Like maybe one day or something, but dude, all good. And this is the problem with the share house. Okay. So you have the share house, you and your 6 friends. Say that it's not even the thing that we're thinking of immediately, which is like there's 20 of us and you end up on the floor somehow.
Still sounds sloppy.
Say that you're all in your 30s. There's 5 bedrooms and one guy's the dispatcher. Okay. He's rented the house and now he's asking everybody what weekends they want. What weekends do you want? I'm like, okay, I'm doing 5,000. Maybe I can want 2 weekends at 5,000. Okay. And now there's these 2 weekends and these are the big weekends. And now you put so much pressure on these 2 weekends to be unbelievable. And they couldn't possibly live up to the expectations because it's crowded out there in the summer and you only have the weekends because you're working during the week. You're busy. Or maybe you have the week, but you can't, maybe whatever. But like, I've seen that too. And I just feel bad for those people. I'm like, dude, that sounds really tough.
It sounds like your goal in life is to win the weekend there. And that sounds
really
sad.
Tough.
It's supposed to be a relaxing escape from your life, not your life being the goal to be out there.
And it's so expensive. Yeah. And the things that you're doing are all the most expensive things that could possibly be done. Not only are you going to Lake Como, you're going in July 16th or whatever, the most expensive, whatever day, you know what I mean? And it's like, you don't want to not do that because it's not good enough. You don't want to be there during the off time. You don't want to be in St. Bart's after New Year's because it's cheaper then. You don't want to be the cheaper guy. You don't want the people to know that you don't. Oh, is everything okay with him? Is not good, dude.
No.
Don't do that shit.
No. It sounds like a really nasty little addiction you could find yourself in. And the withdrawals sound horrible.
Tough. And this is when, I think that when people are like, how you hear about these like rich guys committing financial crimes to make more money. And it's like, this guy had to do that. He was already, and it's like, he's keeping up with the Joneses, dude.
He's trying to buy that guacamole.
He got he met his wife and she expected that out of him. Whatever. It's obviously not always like that, but like you go searching for it, you find all the things that make that true. And suddenly you have this pressure to like effortlessly provide this lifestyle. Oh yeah. You want them to take it for granted because that's what they expect or whatever. I don't know. It just sounds very toxic.
Yeah.
And, I'm combining different things I've seen over the years in this sort of like stereotypical New York City existence, which by the way, has seemed to be pretty consistently like this. And once I noticed it, then you notice other things that have been tapping into it forever. Like OG Sex and the City episodes are like nailing this stuff spot on. Like throughout, like boom, 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 hasn't changed a bit. And then even you see these like lifestyle books from the 70s and the 60s and like this bullshit high society elite culture has existed forever. It's stupid, dude.
It is stupid.
Stupid.
Just want to drop by the Joneses real quick. I'm happy to be a little poor passenger to drop
Absolutely.
in. I want to just see what that's about.
Dude, go Jones it up.
And not to be, when you said keeping up with the Joneses, not to be mistaken with Ari Aster's short film, The Strange Thing About the Johnsons.
Did that confuse you?
It did for a moment. That's why I asked you what that was. But the Joneses about keeping up with the rich and wealthy, and The Strange Thing About the Johnsons is about a father that passes away, and the son is haunted by his ghost because they used to have sex.
Hate to say it.
Yeah, that's the strange thing going on with the Johnsons. Spoiler alert. But it's not about the Joneses.
Not about the Joneses. As P. Diddy once famously said, fuck the Joneses, people trying to keep up with the Combses.
The Combses?
Formerly true. Not so much these days.
What are the Combses?
Sean Combs. P. Diddy.
Sean Combs is P. Diddy?
That's his name.
And Bruno Mars didn't gamble.
Bruno Mars did not
He didn't do
gamble. He didn't do it.
He didn't do it. Dude, I got so many messages from friends that occasionally listen to the pod, but definitely tune in for the clips, and they were laughing so hard at you're like, I'm not being weird. You're being weird. I want you to see my room.
They liked it.
That was so funny, dude.
That one slowly started to trickle around the wedding attendees, and I think they've all been enjoying it too. You're weird.
I want you to see my room.
Big G will just claw onto something, and he was giving me shit about it. I'm like, all right, Dad, like, He's like, you were weird, man.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, thanks.
It doesn't help.
Carlos Alcaraz documentary on Netflix. Did we talk about this already?
Off camera.
Okay. It's a tennis player, if you guys don't know about tennis, but I think that this is broadly interesting. This guy is, at any given time, the best player in the world, has been for a few years. Him and this other guy are sort of competing for the top spot. And, you know, from an ability perspective, I think everybody agrees that when he's at his best, he is the best player in the world. He's got it all. He's incredible. He's like 22. He's a child. And he's incredible. And he's already won 4 Grand Slams. He's done incredible things. And I always just look at this guy and he's like so fit. He's so talented. And I'm like, this guy must be like the consummate professional. Like he just must eat, sleep, breathe tennis, like loves it. He seems like he has so much fun on the court. And in this documentary, you kind of see that he sometimes like struggles to be motivated and makes bad decisions sometimes when it comes to like he should be training, but instead he chooses to take a week off and go to Monaco or go to Ibiza or something and have like a big week. And then like maybe he doesn't play as well in the tournament because of it. Or like maybe one time he did and he got lucky and the next time. So anyway, I was so shocked to find out that this was what his personality was like and that he has this big team around him. And look, a lot of these people are like high profile coaches and trainers and they want to work with the best guy. So if the best guy isn't living up to his potential, then they are less motivated. And that all feels so fickle and cumbersome to me. And like, I don't know if I would be able to put up with it. Nadal is a guy whose like family was always involved with him. So when it's your family, they're always motivated. They're never going to give up on you. Right. But like when you have like a rock star coach who even kind of admits in the video, he's like, if he weren't to give it 100%, I don't know if I would be able to stay motivated. But 100%, is it too much to ask of someone? By giving 100%, does he actually perform not as well because it's less sustainable? Because they interview Nadal in the video too. And he's like, look, if you feel like you have to sacrifice, but if you feel like you're sacrificing too much, it's not really sustainable. So it's all this really interesting shit to see this kid who just wants to kind of be a kid. Like he wants to party, he wants to hang out, he wants to eat what he wants. He doesn't want to be tennis always. And this is maybe undermining to some degree how much work he has put in because he of course is like grinding just like anybody else, but you see that to some degree it is about talent, like natural talent and ability, because maybe he can sacrifice slightly less and have better results than every other guy, even a guy who's 10 in the world, who's unbelievable. So anyway, all of that to me was super fascinating. And it's interesting to see this like coming of age tale. This guy who's trying to figure it out in real time as we approach the French Open season, which he's probably going to be the favorite going into it. All super, super cool. So check it out.
Yeah. These docs are awesome. They're a great gateway into the sport. I forget the names right now, but I remember before the Olympics last year, I was watching the track and the track and field and the gymnastics documentary. I think it was just about a bunch of different athletes competing for the Olympics outside of basketball. And it was cool, and you learned a lot.
It's a bunch of different athletes?
It was about...
Or was it just the sprinters?
It was about the sprinters, and it was also about what's her name? She's the best gymnastic.
Oh, interesting. Oh, Simone Biles.
Yes.
I watched that.
Her and then the guy, and
these were separate documentaries, right?
I think they were the same.
Interesting.
I think it was the same.
Because, dude, back in the day, they used to do this thing like when HD was new, and I've never been able to find these, but they'd have these like 6-hour Olympic recaps where they showed each like kind of major leaning event, and they would talk about all the people who might be able to win. It would kind of tell their stories, show all the heats, and then show who ended up winning. And it was like absolutely captivating, the most captivating TV I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I wish I could find it. If anybody knows where I can find those, but I got to get the names of these. What do you remember what they're called?
I'll find it and I'll mention it to you.
All right. Well, that's it. You guys know where to find us. We've already plugged some of these shows. I have, at least for me, at Not Julio. My Patreon for my travel stuff's coming out soon. Please subscribe. I'm going to have some cool BTS stuff from Alaska. I'm going to have some of the drone footage that didn't make it into the cut, a couple like side things that didn't make it in, plus some like interviews that I didn't include. There'll be a lot of really cool BTS stuff and some other cool perks and shit. Lynch, what do you got coming up?
Check me out at Ryan is Really Polite. And check out SRE_improv, Steam Room Etiquette Improv. We have a show every month. And it'll be really fun to see you guys come out and check out a show. You'll have a great time. And then email us at oospodcast@gmail.com. All of your stories. We got a couple good ones. We'll get to them next week. So thank you for sending that. And then comment below I have a discount when you're done listening to the episode.
Sweet.
All right, we'll see you next week.